Welcome on podcast episode 135.
Are we really?
Mm-hmm. Spam this shiznit to the groups and shit when it's get it all done.
Have you communicated with what's his name?
Who?
Uh,
Lenars?
Clark.
Lenars?
Yeah. What did he say?
He ain't hit me back yet.
Okay.
Jesus. All right, so we are about to be live on Twitter here in a moment. Let's get that guy rolling. Scoop out of there. We get in Facebook.
Yeah.
Should be live on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube as well. So how about that?
Oh, we're on YouTube now.
We're on YouTube. Yep, we're on YouTube.
Oh, cool. We're on YouTube. That's
Yep.
cool. I like
Yep,
that.
that's fun, right?
Okay. What's up,
So here we
YouTube?
are. Yeah. So we
Dude,
are
it
on
is
all the
cute.
platforms.
Who put keys? My name
Huh?
is Q.
Go in there and fix it.
It's ridiculous.
We're having a rough time already, folks. As he fixes his name.
Ain't you right?
Oh man.
So we're live now.
Yes, we are. We are officially live. Everybody, welcome into the Welcome Home podcast. This is your host, famously Garnet, and I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
In this episode, look, it's been a little while since we recorded. We've been doing a lot of player interviews. Obviously, we've had some great names come through: Cole Messina, BJ Mack, Debo Williams, Jalen Kilgore, Kai Kroger. I mean, we've had some spectacular names, and we are not done yet. Actually, we are waiting. I'm waiting on a text to come through. If this text goes through, guys, you're going to go crazy, but it's going to be a last minute thing, and you just got to tune in probably tomorrow. I don't know what time tomorrow. That time has not been stated yet, but I'm just waiting for that text to come in. You guys are going to lose your mind. So we've been doing that, right? Busy doing that. And obviously, South Carolina has been busy doing things on their side of the ball, on their side of things. A lot of things have happened since we recorded last time. Taylor Edwards, no longer at South Carolina. That is a whole thing there. We won't talk about it. There's too much information there, too much misinformation there as well. It is what it is. We have moved on, right?
Mm-hmm. Big time move. Big time
move. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time move. And this guy is already making waves in recruiting for South Carolina. I'm talking about you have Oregon guys, like guys that are looking to go into Oregon. They're supposed to commit probably this week or next week, and they're pushing their dates back already. Not saying this is the case, but it makes you go, right?
But not just pushing their dates back. Word in the grapevine is they might be visiting for our cookout on the 26th. So I look at it in my retrospect. It's been a lot of doom and gloom for Gamecock sports. Everyone has an opinion. So you know what, FG? I think it's time I give my opinion.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, before you give the opinion, Darren Usher officially hired at South Carolina.
Give my opinion on the situation.
Oh boy.
I'm going to be very open and honest with Gamecock Nation right now. I'm going to be when I say very open and honest, I mean very open and honest. Q is never going to sugarcoat anything for you guys. You know this. Anyone who knows me knows this. So I'm going to break this down for you, and I'm going to be very, very honest and very, very forthcoming with you guys. I don't know where some of you all have been here recently, but we are coming off of a 5-7 football season. I'm going to say this one more time. We're coming off of a 5-7 football season. We were 2-6 before we went on a 3-game winning streak. We were very much, how do I put this? Hanging on by a thread on the offensive line. Guys, I want to be very, very open and honest with you one more time. There was not but one time in the season that we had consecutive games where our offensive line looked the same. I don't think you understand what 12 injuries at different times on an offensive line means. We would have won with Florida had Vershawn Lee not got hurt before halftime. You're looking at a win there. You probably had a better chance of winning North Carolina if the guy we thought was going to start got to start, but he got hurt. And that's Marquis Anderson. So what a lot of people don't know, Marquis was going to start that game. So we are not here to tell you, hey, you feel the way you feel, whatever. I don't care about that. That 3-star you thing ends now. It ends now. The guys we have committed to us are one, a lot of homegrown guys. Because if you look at the stats, we're almost 50% of our class from the state of South Carolina. 2, you have guys that are wanting to make this a better place. That's the difference between people going in and out, left and right. It doesn't matter if people have decommitted or whatever. You wish the guy well, because at the end of the day, none of us can live the same lives they do. None of us can. So therefore, you need to stay still and let this happen. Let the recruiting class, it's July, folks. It's July. But one thing I can tell you that I'm ready to hang my hat on is that the team we saw last year is not the team you're about to see this year. That much I can promise you. We brought people on here. You have brought a team captain on here. We brought a freshman All-American on here, freshman All-SEC player on here. We brought an All-American punter on here. I mean, I don't know what more you guys want in the situation of telling you things will be different. They've each said, because every time, FG, you've heard me ask the same question every time. Do you see a different mentality when it comes to Shane Beamer? And every single person has said what? Yes. So therefore, Gamecock Nation, I don't know about you, but I'm going to use this philosophy. And you can use it if you want to. You can choose not to. It's up to you. You can sit here and stress about where people are going or committing to in the month of July. Or you can understand that in less than 50 days, we'll be playing football on the gridiron. And that's where it matters the most. Because as soon as Shane and them get on the right tracks, and we're talking a 7, 8, 9 win season, now you're going to see the production of what you have. That's where the fruits, it's called the fruits of your labor. You have to labor first. We haven't labored yet. Wait for the laboring, and then let's see what the fruits of labor produce. So you can talk amongst yourselves. Cool. Whatever. I don't care. But I'm letting you know now where I stand on this. And my stance on this is I'm ready for the ball to drop. So that's where I'm at with it, FG.
Yeah, no. Important text just came in. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I'm right there with you. It's the thing about it is that people lose their mind when certain decommits happen. That certain, like, the sky's all of a sudden falling, right? You lose a staff member in the offseason, late in the offseason too, by the way. But Shane, what he did bringing in Darren Usher and a guy, Gamecock alum, right then and there, you know what he's about, right? He's going to want South Carolina to be as successful as possible because he graduated from South Carolina. He loves it here, right?
Not just that, though, FG, you got to take it a step further.
Oh, for sure.
Look where he learned.
Oh, absolutely.
Places he went and where he learned under. And the thing was, it wasn't that we took him from somewhere where he wasn't succeeding.
Right.
He was succeeding in every juncture of. Do you understand how crazy it is? This is me being honest with you guys. Recruits are actually tweeting at him saying, "Hey, I see you got here now." Recruits are tweeting at him, not good luck or anything. They are noticing what he's doing because he played a role in their recruitment where he was before.
Mhm.
Then he hit the ground running less than 24 hours later and offered 3 guys, 3 of them, who he had Oregon in the game for. And guess what's closer to them than Oregon is? South Carolina is.
Yeah.
So therefore, all is not lost on this. Quit listening to other fan bases. All is not lost. We're
Mhm.
here. We're here, folks. I told y'all this. I told you guys from the get-go with Shane. There were going to be good days. There were going to be bad days. Shane still has to learn as a head coach how to capitalize on the good days and how to turn around the bad days. He has to have the time to do that. He has to have the wherewithal to do that. And you have to give him the space to do that. But one thing Shane has not done is let us down in recruiting. I don't care who decommits or anything like that. It ain't like they decommit and going somewhere that ain't winning nothing. You're
Right.
talking about major schools wanting players that we have committed. So let's see what the I'll say this. Let the chips fall where they may. Let's see how the season plays out. That's where Q is.
Yeah.
If you want to know where Q is, let's see where the season plays out.
Yeah. No, and I agree because 2026 is going to be massive class for not only state of South Carolina, but around in this region. And for 2026, to get back to what Darren Usher did when he got to South Carolina, 2 of the guys that he did offer out of the few he's offered is Jermichael Garrett, 4-star 2026 linebacker from Gulf Shores, Alabama. Like I said, highly ranked linebacker, and then also a 4-star 2026 defensive lineman from Oxford, Alabama, out of Keenan Britt. So look, some big offers have already come across for South Carolina from Usher. He's already making himself known. He did learn from a lot of great names out there, and I feel like it's tough when you have to say that South Carolina upgraded here, but it really does feel like South Carolina did a truly upgrade here because not only did he graduate from South Carolina, he's also originally from the DMV, and guess what? He's got connects. This nightmare for Mike Locksley is not changing. Unfortunately for him.
Hey, FG, I was told we were going to suffer in the DMV now. I was told that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief.
I was told that. I'm just telling you what I was told.
Yeah,
I was told.
Of course.
But speaking of DMV area, though, well, you know what? Back up, Northeast area. I just want the listeners to know this. I'm ready to break this. I got some good intel, some real good intel, FG, that tomorrow's going to be a good day. Now, we still got to make it to tomorrow.
Right.
We still got to get to sleep. We still got to wake up. We got to, go to work. But I think around 3:00 p.m., I think we all should tune in to Lex Cyrus's commitment. I think if I was a guy who at 3:00 I wanted to find something to do, I think that commitment is what I would probably tune into. Because I think this could go the Gamecocks' way. Like I said, anything can change, happen overnight. Nick Harbor was a prime example of that. FG, sure. I think we both remember that late night, that early morning, the texts we were getting, things we were hearing.
Yeah.
So we know things can change, and I want Gamecock Nation to understand that. But if as a man today, I think we're going to get us a 4-star receiver tomorrow, man.
I like it, and I don't think it stops there. With wide receiver Malik Clark, that at one time, I mean, he spurned South Carolina to go to North Carolina for the spring game. He felt all the love from the Tar Heels, but lately it seems things have shifted a little bit. And so for example, last night, got on the Peloton last night. It's been a little while since I've gotten on the Peloton. I like, running and walking outside, but it's just been damn too hot lately, right? It's no fun when it's 85, 90 degrees outside. And the way Peloton works, I don't know if you've ever tried it, or the ones listening have ever tried it, but when you're in these workouts, when you do these training classes, these sessions, there is a scoreboard kind of thing that you rank up. And you see a bunch of guys like they get going and they're going and they're really up there already. They're like 20 spots above me and whatnot. I'm like, all right, whatever. Come in, about 5 minutes left of the workout, you start seeing those drop. And you start seeing me climb and climb and climb. And the reason why I say all this is because recruiting is a what?
Marathon.
Marathon. It's not a race.
Sprint.
No, it's not a sprint.
And FG, I want to just piggyback off that real quick. You remember last year when we had Cam Pringle get in the boat, Josiah Thompson get in the boat? We had a lot of guys jump in the boat pretty early and everybody was happy, but then they got upset when in June and July, things weren't, nothing was really happening.
Right.
But you all of a sudden, and that's how recruiting goes. Once again, this was a marathon. This will always be a marathon. Dylan Stewart was still a marathon. No matter how many times Dylan got on campus, no matter how many times we shook his hand, Zach, no matter how many times he shook anyone's hand, it was still a marathon. Ohio State wanted him bad. Miami would have sold their soul for him. There were a lot of things that were happening that you can't control. And this is what you guys can't control. But you know what you can control? And we got a space about this, FG. We had a space about this. You know what you can control, Gamecock Nation? You can control how you help the environment.
Yep.
You can control those things. You can control showing up. If you choose to, you can control donating to the Garner Trust. You can control being there when recruits are on campus. These are controllable things that we're giving you right now. We can't control whether a kid chooses to come to Gamecock Nation or choose to go to another school. But what we can control is what we do on Twitter, what we do on Facebook, what we do on Instagram, what we do to promote our players, what we do to uplift our players, what we do to uplift the team, what we do to talk about the team, what we do on all those different things. And that's what us two right here are going to do. So you can get with it.
To do.
Or you can't, or you won't. But what we're going to continue to do, what CB90 is going to continue to do, what all the guys that we've rallied on Twitter is going to continue to do, we're going to get this right. Because I told y'all in the spaces, and I mean this, they're going to have to put me in the ground before I stop working to get this right. So we're going to get this right, boys and girls. We're going to get this one right. And it's going to start by us focusing on what we can control, because we have a season coming up on August 31st. We have a game on August 31st against Old Dominion. We have a chance to go 1-0. We have a chance to go 1-0.
Yep.
So that's what we need to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, you put it perfectly clear. I mean, it's a perfect example, man. And it's a perfect message. Like, control what you can, but don't worry about what you can't, because that's that's a rule with recruiting. That's a rule with life, right? One of the biggest things when you go into this, if you ever go into sales, if whoever's listening, if you've watched, if you ever thought about a career in sales, one of the things that your mentors, your managers over time will tell you: control what you can, but don't worry about the things that you can't. Because if you start worrying about those things you can't, you put yourself in a rut, and then you're going to spiral out of control. And we've seen it. We've seen it with our own fan base. It happens, guys. You can't worry about that. You can't worry about Georgia doing this with NIL. It is what it is. There are things that Georgia has as resources that South Carolina will never have. There are things that
it's wins.
Absolutely.
It's wins.
Absolutely. It goes more than NIL, but I'm just saying, like, Georgia's NIL, like you talked about the Oregon article that recently came out talking about there's no limit to that. Buddy, Georgia is right there with them. That Atlanta airport has some secrets in there that we don't know about. But I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. And they're winning.
It's a problem.
People are when you win, people support. And so when these guys start winning, you just got to do your part and keep supporting.
Yep.
It goes up at that point. I'm telling y'all, there are blue bloods that are bleeding right now. There are blue bloods that are bleeding at this present moment. We have the opportunity to go above and beyond. We just have to take it.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to take it. It's up to us. So that's what I need the focus to be. That's why I need everyone's thought process to be. We got to get to the season. The season. That's the important thing. That's what's important. Those recruits know how important this season is. Shane knows how important this season is. It's time for us to focus on the season. The recruits know we love them. They do. Most of the time, the recruits recruit themselves.
They do.
But it's about the season.
It is. Shout out. A couple guys I want to shout out real quick. First, I want to shout out to Palmetto Autographs. I did a great autograph session within the weekend of 2 weekends ago, I believe is what it was now. Yeah, 2 weekends ago, where they had Lenore Sellers come in, Kai Kroger, Parker White, Nicky Minwari, TJ Sanders. I mean, they had a bunch of guys come in, sign autographs, Dante Reno. And because of doing things like this, you keep your players engaged. The fans get to come out and meet the guys and get to talk to them on a different level than normally what they would ever. Because, I mean, events like that don't draw the biggest crowds, so you have a little more time to work with them, talk with them, and you get to see who they are off the football field, off the gridiron, right, away from the cameras. And thankfully, I had the opportunity to be there on that Saturday when Lenore's came through. TJ Sanders, Nicky Minwari, Dante. I had a great conversation with all of them. Got to meet Lenore's parents, great people, fine folks. It was just a great time, and so these kind of events going on like that is just spectacular. And I would really like to see Gamecock fans continue to go to that. Maybe have a little bit, see a little bit more fans there. I mean, not saying it was a bad turnout by any means, because it wasn't. I mean, there was a long line into the building, but future-wise, I mean, I saw a lot of people comment, like, when's the next signing? When's the next signing? Like, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon until after the season, but things like that, I mean, right? It's stuff that South Carolina is doing that wasn't around before, right? So give the guys props there. They're doing a fantastic job there, because a lot of schools aren't doing things like that.
Nope.
They're simply not. So shout out to Palmetto Autographs. We're seeing some stuff with the recruiting get a little, coming in a little closer. The first National Signing Day is December. We're seeing guys start to make decisions a little earlier than what they normally would. Jared Smith being one of them, your defensive lineman out of Alabama, 4-star guy / 5-star guy. When I talked to Stewart, Dylan Stewart, he was talking about he was the guy who was going to host him and all that. Dylan did one hell of a job. A lot of schools have gone after Jared. Apparently that doesn't matter. Shout out also to Caleb Williams. Shamari Earls flipped from, South Carolina to Georgia. Shamari instantly got into Caleb's ear, as T-Rob did over at Georgia. Tried to convince him, hey, you need to come here. Today, Caleb went on his Instagram. He said, it's not going to happen, basically. And to quote it exactly what he said, not flipping, staying true, word is bond. And that was off of the quote.
And I have no respect for that. I have no respect for that.
It's killer.
I have no respect for that young man. Caleb, shout out to you. Hopefully we can get you on here and let you talk about it, bro. That's our goal. So give you guys that platform to talk about those kind of things, because we see it every day. And once again, I love Shamari. I met Shamari at the spring games. Shamari's a great guy. Yeah. Great guy. I love him. And I know he's going to be successful. I know he's going to be extremely successful. And I look forward to seeing that success. And I also want to shout out Caleb, because Caleb did something a lot of people aren't doing nowadays. It's like, hey, I'm standing firm on this, man. I'm standing firm on this. But I promise y'all, some of the talks that are happening behind the scenes, and some of the guys that are eyeing South Carolina, because I'll tell you right now, 3 guys I know for a fact, top recruits, have all said, I'm waiting to see what this season looks like.
Yeah.
Because one thing a lot of people want to do is play with Lenore Sellers. Contrary to what Twitter and all them want to talk about, there's some guys behind the scene that are like, hey, this is an intriguing prospect. Like, this is an intriguing kid. And so if Lenore is able to do exactly what we think he'll do, a 3,000-yard, 700 to 800-yard rushing year, hey, guys, that's scary.
Look,
that's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Phil Steele just dropped his magazine out recently. I have not seen it yet, but On the way back from Anderson today. I was listening to 107.5 The Game. Shout out to them. And they were talking about Phil Steele ranked South Carolina as the number one rushing attack that has basically turned a new leaf, essentially the most improved at the rushing attack. And honestly, how do you argue with that, right? The guys that we brought in, Rocket Sanders, right? I mean, that's a big win. We don't know what to expect from him with his injury, but if you look at what he did with Arkansas, when he got there, hey, there's no telling. I mean, this team could shock. I mean, they could shock the world. Honestly, they really could. I don't want to say it's going to be like the basketball team, but it might as well be like the basketball team for what people are putting on this team. Thinking they're a 3-win, 4-win, 5-win team. This team could very well win 8 or 9. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just it's simply not. South Carolina has some athletes on this team.
They do.
All right. And if things connect, if these guys connect like they should,
if that defense is that defense, man, listen. The depth on that defense, the ballers on that defense, like you I'm gonna be 100% honest. FG know this. I did not plan on coming to the first game. I didn't.
Yeah.
Y'all best believe at 4:15, I'll be at the first game.
Yeah.
When Debo came on here and let you guys know, when Kai Kroger came on here and told y'all, I have not seen what I saw in practice, and that was practice.
Yeah.
I hope you got your tickets too.
Yeah.
I hope you got your popcorn ready.
Yeah, no, if you guys don't sell that game out,
that's to me a shock. That's a shame.
That's a damn shame. I don't know how close we are right now, but I can definitely get numbers because I'm very close to the guys at Gamecock Club, so I can definitely get some numbers there, so you figure out what we're looking at right now as far as capacity wise, see how many tickets are possibly left. I think, let's Lord, I can't say this enough. Pray for a injury-free finish to the offseason and training, through training camp and practices and whatnot. Let's get in workouts. Let's get this through this any kind of way injury-free for the love of God. South Carolina needs it. It's unfair for what South Carolina ran into last year. I mean, game 1 against North Carolina
was hurtful, bro.
Look,
it was hurtful to watch that.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm a big Panthers fan, as you know, and as most of y'all know. And as soon as, we're going to play out there again, and all I'm thinking in the back of my mind is turf. That damn turf, man. And look, this kind of goes past, South Carolina things. But I've had conversations with Shaq Thompson for the Carolina Panthers, Brian Burns over the years about how bad that turf is. I mean, JC even tells me how bad it is. Guys, it's not a good fielding surface to play on. It's simply not. There are so many non-contact injuries that happen on that damn field or on that playing surface in general around the NFL. And my God, I mean, you lost. Who'd you lose? You lost Mokaba that game. You lost Nick Emeori that game.
Nick, and that was we got really lucky with Nick because Nick that ended way worse.
That could have been way worse. That could have been way worse. So next thing you know, you have our offensive line. You have Case and Henry that goes out as well. So you have City Fugar, who was supposed to be a bloody project player. And people are like, oh, look at this guy. He's supposed to be, he's a starter at South Carolina. No. That was not the plan for Sydney. It's just the depth, the way it played out, man. It's like, it is what it is. So now here's the problem. You have the mainstream media. You've got all these different people out there that think that South Carolina is going to be awful because of the way they played last year, because of the way offensive line responded last year. But people don't bury to look into the deeper facts of like, this is the amount of people, this is the amount of players that we had to switch and make a damn roster adjustment to field a damn offensive line.
You're right. And like I said, 12 injuries is 12 injuries. I don't care how you want to put that. Do you understand with 12 injuries at any points in time, that means you can't even practice with a full-fledged another offensive line? Like, come on now. Like, let's be honest about this.
And here's the thing. We're having might as well let the cat out of this bag. I don't know what day we're getting him on yet, but Ja'Kai Moore is coming on the show. He's going to hop on the show with us, and he's going to talk more about that. I've had these conversations with Tree. I've had these conversations with Ja'Kai about what happened on this offensive line last season. Casey Henry said the same stuff, man. Like, I don't get why you have to be a Gamecock fan to understand what happened to this team last year. It's not hard. It is simple research, man. It's not hard. It's just
what Casey Henry when Casey looked us in our eyes after that spring game, I knew he was dead serious. I can't express y'all like I wish I could have recorded what because Casey looked us like leaned in and said, "What you saw last year will not happen this year. I promise you that." And walked off.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I know a lot of people are looking at it from the outside in. I'm telling y'all, when we got done with that spring game, if those guys could suit up and play Old Dominion, they would have. And it would have been no holds bar. They would have not left without a dub.
Yeah.
And so that's all I'm saying to the people.
Yep.
It's not doom and gloom around this football facility.
No,
it's not.
No, it's absolutely not. Like the mentality is insane. Kev, yeah, you're right. Kev, as most people know out there out of Gaffney, talked about the walk-on guys, skill players. You talked about Jackson Hughes walk-on playing the UNC game. No, absolutely. Gamecocks alerts right on that. I mean, there was those kind of issues are popping up, and it's like, how do you effectively think you're going to win? How do you effectively think you're going to beat these teams like you should? I mean, when South Carolina was up 14-0 on Georgia at halftime, I'm like, we might, maybe there's a shot there. But of course, you lost Juice Wells in that game early, and obviously we know how that ended. But
you kind of played bend don't break. You took yourself out. You absolutely took yourself out, but you also didn't have the depth. That's what, and that's what we're trying to explain to y'all. That linebacking group within itself. I'm gonna start naming this right now. The linebacker group within itself will finish top 3 in the SEC this year. That group within itself will finish top 3. The defensive tackle group will finish top 5 in the SEC this year for themselves. That edge group will finish in the top half of the SEC this year themselves. So when you think of the front 7 getting pressure, which we did not do last year, when they get pressure, FG, what does that happen? What happens to the secondary? They then improve. They start because then now the quarterback has to worry about if that defensive line is going to get to him.
Yep.
You guys have got to understand and look at this from hindsight 2020. Our offensive line, because of who they're going against in practice, automatically will be better than last year. Beyond just the injuries. Look at the talent they're playing. At the end of the day, Shane went and got upgraded talent tremendously. And I'm not even talking just the transfers. I'm talking Dylan.
Yep.
Anyone that watched the spring game understood Dylan was going half speed and was getting in the back. What do you think is going to happen when he goes full speed? What do you think is going to happen when now you have to worry about not just Dylan, but now you have Jules, DeAndre Jules on the inside eating up 2 blocks himself, Tonka Hemingway and TJ, Desmond Umanzulu, who a lot of people keep forgetting this man is a sophomore. He has come so far. Kyle Kennard, there's depth, so there's rotation. When there's depth, there's rotation. And next thing you know, it's the 4th quarter, and they are worn out. But we aren't because we have the depth. We didn't have a run game last year. We couldn't establish the run to even open up the passing game. Could you imagine what Spencer would have had if he had a run game?
I know.
That man might have had 4,000 yards. He might have had 4,000.
Yeah.
All I'm saying to y'all, Gamecock Nation, if you look across the board, if you look literally across the board, and shout out to my guy Kev, because Kev's been to a practice. Kev knows what we're talking about. Kev knows exactly what we're talking about. Across the board, there's not one group that has digressed. Not one. And you can say, well, Lenore doesn't have the playing time. That's okay. But you know what Lenore does have? He has his same offensive coordinator coming back, which means that Lenore's already learned the playbook that he already has in his hand. And now they can expand upon that playbook because he already knew it. And Spencer already told y'all what he was able to do in practice.
Yep.
So once again, I'm going to say this. Either you get with the program or don't say nothing at all. I respect you either way. But don't be in our way when we're about to get the success that we've been working on.
Yeah.
We knew this offseason was going to be long. We lost 7 games last year. We didn't make a bowl game. So that means we haven't played a game since November of 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm off my soapbox. I'll chill. I'm off my soapbox.
No, I mean, that's good stuff though, man. That's the thing about it, guys. Just stay patient. Obviously, things are heating up in the recruiting world. Things are going to get better. I promise. Tomorrow or today, when you're listening, sounds like it's could be potentially a big day as right now for South Carolina on the football recruiting things. But now, Q, we're going to hop over to something that's Sin normally covers, but Sin's not with us tonight, and that is baseball recruiting. Here's the thing: South Carolina has been tearing it up with the new staff, killing it. And here's the thing: if Coach comes out swinging, Coach Mainieri comes out swinging, okay, and things go the way that they potentially could right now. I'm not ready to say the O word yet, but you might want to start thinking about the O word. I'm just throwing that out there. Just throwing that. We got to see, with the MLB draft. Obviously, there are a couple things there we need to keep our eye on. I'm not saying anybody's coming to campus. I'm not saying anybody's coming back. I'm not saying any of that. But there are things that need to happen for these guys not to come to South Carolina or come back to South Carolina. Just putting that out there. But let's look at some names that have recently committed to South Carolina. Today, catcher Noah Franklin from Charleston officially announced today to South Carolina. He was a former Duke commit, so he's coming to South Carolina, which that's a great get there. That's an exciting get, honestly, for that. And I mean, we're cooking, right? The baseball team is cooking right now in recruiting. I'm going to throw you some more names here, just scrolling through everything I do here. But and then Jace, God, I don't want to say his last name. I want to kick myself for it. Jace Woida, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, hell of an infielder from Kansas Community College, Kansas City, Kansas Community. Throw some stats at you: 417 batting average, 23 home runs, 138 RBIs, 12 stolen bases with a 514 on base percentage and a .984 fielding percentage. I'm taking those numbers every day of the week and twice on Sundays. I'm just saying, like, that is a fantastic get right there. And I mean, look, South Carolina is cooking, bro. They got a catcher, Max Kofer from Texas A&M. He was limited last season, but the year before he looked really good. A lot of pundits thought that he could break out this season if he stayed at Texas A&M through the new coach that they brought in from their assistant. So that's a great get there. I mean, South Carolina is cooking right now on the baseball field. Oh yeah, and they brought in Nolan Nawrocki from Clemson. Could be something there too. There's a couple
pitcher
other guys
from Tennessee.
Well. Yeah, the pitcher from Tennessee.
He was hurt and now he's healthy.
Yep.
I mean, you got a lot going for yourself right now.
Oh yeah,
is my thing. You got a lot going for yourself. So I'm one of them that's ready to see this, man.
Yeah. Henry Kazmer, that's another one we'll talk about. A 332 batting average, 7 home runs, 39 RBIs, a slugging percentage of 474, a on-base percentage of 419, and then a fielding percentage of .952 at the shortstop position. So Sin and I, Q, you were in this conversation with us, but we were looking at recruiting numbers for South Carolina over the last few years. And here's your numbers. Okay. So during the Chad Holbrook era, okay, 2013, 3rd, 2014, 6th, 5th and 15th, 8th in 2016, 5th in 2017. Numbers South Carolina was known for, even though in 2017,
that's
South
in the
Carolina
nation,
was,
by the way, folks. That's in the nation.
Yeah, it's not
that's 5th in the nation, 3rd in the nation, those type numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and granted, you are 4 or 5 years removed from the College World Series at this point. You're still recruiting at this high level. Mark Kingston, 2018, 20th, 2019, 28th, 2020, 4th. Okay, respectable. 2021, 25th, 2023, 26th, and 2024, 19th. Mark Kingston could not recruit at South Carolina.
No.
And I don't know what it is and why it happened the way it did. I mean, look, granted, South Carolina has had some great players come in. Obviously, Cole Messina, Ethan Petrie. You worked well with the transfer portal. I mean, he worked more there than what he was doing in recruiting. Once that portal opened, you could tell. You could look at the numbers don't lie. After the portal opened, you went from like the 15th to the 26th to 19th. I mean, what are we doing?
He wasn't caring about that high school recruitment, man, which is the lifeblood of your team.
Right.
That's the lifeblood of your team, bro. That's in any sport. That's in basketball. That's in everything. Lamont said it best, man. Shout out to Lamont Paris, quarter zip king. He said it best. I'm going to always start in high school. He said, I may get guys here and there, but I'm going to start in high school. And I want to shout him out too. Look at what he's done in state.
Yep.
You remember that was a question mark.
Oh, for sure.
And he's answered it.
Oh, for sure.
He's answered it. I'm telling you guys, I don't know why there was so much doom and gloom around the athletic department.
Yeah.
Everyone has changed the narrative and changed the game. Softball, equestrian, golf, baseball. Like, and you're starting to see established culture, which you got to shout Dawn Staley out for because she established one.
Oh, she did.
Because her culture literally started seeping into the men's basketball culture.
Oh, her culture is the face of the University of South Carolina by far. It's not just men's basketball; it's everything.
And now Shane's been at practice. Shane understands it's a culture thing.
And
Don's about to go try and three-peat. All I'm saying is this, guys. All I'm saying is this. We're way better than what you think we are. We're way better than what you think we are. I know there's some doubters out there. Hey, Shane's got to prove it. You're right. But I want you to understand something. I hope you remember that Shane proved it when he went 7-6 after a team went 2-8 the year before.
And finished, 91st or whatever it was in recruiting? Had to find your quarterbacks out of where was it again? With Jason Brown? Zed Nolan?
He had 4 quarterbacks and still won 7 games. He went 8-5 the next year.
Yep.
And if he even had 2 more tight ends, he probably was 9-4.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't move the ball anymore because we only had 1 tight end. The defense was also lacking because we missed 20 people because folks made choices.
Yep.
Once again, I said it before. I say it again. Shane overachieved his first 2 years. He was going to have good days. There was always going to be bad days. But if Shane's bad days is a 5-7 season after 12 offensive linemen got hurt, if that's his floor, because there's people saying that he's going to get fired after this season. I don't know where they're getting their information from, but they're believing that, which is fine. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I know for a fact he's not getting fired after this season.
The guy's not even on the hot seat right now. That's the problem. Like people, I don't know where. I'm right with you, right there with you, man.
I know for a fact he ain't getting fired after this season. It's got to be I'm talking about he's got to lose every single game.
Yeah,
that's including Wofford.
Yeah, it's
just so we're clear on that. That's including Wofford.
Yep.
So
that's pretty wild. I did want to talk about the hiring of Coach Will Bailey, bringing him back to South Carolina.
Big.
That was a big thing. I mean, Lamont. That's who Lamont wanted, and the staff that Lamont has put together so far. Do you question it? Do you question it after having BJ Mack on the show and him talk about everything that happened? No, right? I mean, you don't. So I mean, it's just they're killing it. Just absolutely killing it. So
No, I agree
Shout
with
out, shout out to Will Bailey. You know, coming back to South Carolina. I mean, that's just huge, just absolutely huge.
that. The man was a teacher. I remember that from when he was here with Frank. He was
He
very
was.
much a teacher. He was a very
He was.
focused on teaching, and that's what Lamont's biggest thing is can
Mhm.
you teach the game? Can you teach these guys to get better? So we need to make sure we. Now, I'm a huge shout out to that, and I think Will Bailey's going to help on the recruiting trail as well. Lamont's doing some things, and Lamont brought up a good point when asked about that. I didn't have to rush it because I already got my guys in the class, and he's right. He's got his guys. He's got guys that want to be there. That's all what this is about. We are not a school that's going to shell out all this money like in Oregon, like all that.
Yeah.
And guys just can come just for the name. We are a school that is built. So you're going to have to build something in order to get the success you're looking for. That's what Shane's trying to do. That's what Lamont is doing still. Because Lamont had a great year, and Lamont's trying to show you this is something I'm going to continue to do.
Yep.
You got all these guys doing that. So you have to think of this. You have to look at it that way. You have to deal with it that way. So that's where I'm hoping we continue to build on that. So I'm excited, bro. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Recruiting is not all doom and gloom. Let me go there real quick, FG. Let's make sure that people understand the guys that are actually coming into this now. So as I told you before, Lake Cyrus, I feel really good about tomorrow right now. Like I said, things can change, but I feel really good about tomorrow. We still have Kendall Daniels that is out there.
It is
a huge get. I don't know when he's going to commit or anything, but I feel really good about our position with Kendall.
Yep.
I feel extremely good, like as he stated earlier, with Jerry Smith.
Yep.
Jerry Smith should be committing in August from what I was told. I don't know when. I think it should be before his season. So I'm thinking probably around the August 17th, something like that, around that time. And this is the one that I don't think people really understand how, what's the word I want to use? How crazy of a marathon this was. Lagonza Hayward.
Yeah.
That's a marathon. And we're getting towards the end of the marathon, but I will say this. He's scheduled to be on campus on the 26th of July.
Yep.
And he commits on the 27th.
27th, yeah.
So you do the math. So if he falls through with what he's scheduled to do and he's on campus, let's see what 27th has for us. So you got guys that are looking to commit and looking at these things. So, and that's just that's not even including some of the other stuff we got going on. So let's be patient. Let's wait. Let's watch. It's not doom and gloom, bro.
No,
it's not doom and gloom.
No, it's absolutely not. Like I said, you got that from Caleb Williams today solidified his recruitment with South Carolina, which is big. I mean, look, Shamari Earls and him are close. So for him to not only say that, but on a tweet that he quoted that also had Shamari's name on it, saying it's Georgia, and then for him to say what he did, I mean, look, I'm just saying that's big, man. Like that is the definition of commitment. Like that's like Dylan Stewart. Like when Dylan committed to South Carolina, reporters didn't ask about his game and how he's been playing, how his senior season went, and all this. No. The thing that they wanted to know is why South Carolina, or did this coach reach out to you, or did this school reach out to you? No, it wasn't about why you committed to South Carolina. It was about, did you have to?
Like what made you be at South Carolina?
Yeah.
And once again, Dylan has said it before. They're real about it. They're very real. They're real down there.
Harbor found out. Yeah, I mean, obviously Oregon did what they could in the evening, late hours of the night. I'm talking about, I'm on the phone, you're on the phone at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., having conversations with, our people. And it's like, your wife's like, who the hell are you texting this late at night? I need to see your phone. Like, hey, relax. It's not like that. Come on. It's like that meme, like the woman that's turned into look at the husband and he's like, he's got something on his mind.
Yep. And she's like, I bet he's thinking about this. And he's like,
he's thinking about other women.
And he's like, bro, Harbor better not It better not go to Oregon. No, it was wee hours. Like,
man.
I'm talking about me and Zach on the phone at like 8 a.m. Like, bro, this still ain't locked up, bro. I don't know what's going on. And we're just going back and forth. That video of Shane is real, bro, because Shane worked really hard in those wee hours, bro. That video of Shane that Justin King made, that's real, bro. Like, that was raw, real Shane Beamer, bro, getting to the finish line, bro, getting over the hump.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
I mean, like we said, we got pretty solid information about 11:30 because I think that's when we started the space. I think we started the space at like 11:30, going up to his commitment at 1 o'clock. That was a good, fun Call of Duty day too. We did play a lot of COD that day.
That was a good Call of Duty day. I think I had one game I went 26-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I posted.
We had a lot of people in that space.
We did. That was a huge space. A lot of players now that are at South Carolina. Desmond Omiazulu, Tree, Debo was in there.
Bakari Swain was literally in class. Like he got on the speaker in class and was like, "We got him," and you hear the teacher in the background. It was great.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, shout out to Bakari.
Yeah, shout out to Bakari for that because that was absolutely hilarious, bro. Top 5 funny. But that's where we were. That's what, and it was beautiful to see Gamecock Nation flock to that.
It was.
We had Oregon people come in. We getting them. We'll see. But me and Zach knew at that moment we were good.
Hey, Fong promised. Fong's like, yeah, Oregon's got it in the bag. Like, it doesn't matter what Shane does from here. And and Chuck Douglas over there in Maryland was pounding his chest and celebrating a win for Oregon, which never really understood that. But
that dude's a weirdo. That dude's top 5 weirdo.
He's a goofy man. He uses a profile pic from 20 years ago. That's a whole another story from a different time, though.
Now he's doing the free grandma thing. Shout out to my boy Gamecock Dave, who definitely was the originator of the free grandma on the recruiting side of things. So I don't care what nobody says. Gamecock Dave definitely originator right there. Dude wanted to steal his. They wanted to steal his swag, bro. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
I expect nothing less from them. We do have a question in the chat though from Chad. Chad 1991. Do y'all think Mazio gets to start in the first game this season? Do you think Mazio gets to start?
Let's see how fall camp goes. I struggle with saying yes to that because I will say Nick Harbor's ascension in his skill set will likely move Gage Lavadine inside. So I can't for certain say that. I want to see who steps up in fall camp. So let me see who steps in fall camp and come back to me and we'll probably do this, I don't know, a couple days before the game. And so we'll run that back. Let's run that back. Me and FG will run that back. And so keep that question. Hold that in the back pocket. I like that question though. I will say I am 100% told that Mazio will get a lot of burn though. He's going to get a lot of burn. That kid is talented. I'm telling you that 2024 class, 2025 class, and 2026 class are going to show you something that we haven't seen since Clowney and them.
Yeah.
They're going to show you something.
Yeah.
And I promise you, I keep receipts.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know this now. The day we make it to the playoffs, those receipts are coming out. It's going to get real ugly on this app. It's going to get real ugly.
I'm keep it a buck, man. I've got receipts for 2024 already, and I have a folder that says stupid ass takes for 2024. I already have it. And I've got a long list of things that I've run through on the timeline. And normally I'm not one to go after somebody like that. I don't do that normally. But in this case, I mean, there's just been so much disrespect to South Carolina in the offseason.
I had to keep them. I had to keep them this year.
I had to. Exactly.
This year, I usually don't do it either. But this year, with some of the things that people are saying, some people think y'all went crazy. So I wanted to show you the disgusting work you did before you want to jump back on the train. Because some of you will. I know you will. You're gonna fake like nothing ever happened. But then when I bring the receipt out, don't be like, don't do that. No. You take it to the chin. You repent of your sin, and we'll let you on board.
Repent of the sin.
Repent of the sin, man. Repent of the sin, man.
Repent.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We got something. Speaking of something, Xavier game for the men's basketball team, man.
Yep.
The Battle of Halls Chop House.
The Battle of Halls Chop House.
Has finally happened. It is finally happening. It is finally happening during Thanksgiving week. Battle of Halls Chop House. I think you was gonna have to pay for the person's dinner, man.
Oh, I think
it's only right. It's only right.
I think the only way he's gonna make it truly up. Shout out to Mike. You're my guy if you're watching, listening.
Mike.
And I don't know if you that picture I got of him at the CV90 event. That was classic. Good times to have by all there, by the way, as well. I do agree though, man. It's going to be a great game. It's one of those things like, look, people thought that Sean Miller was in South Carolina. He was at Halls. Multiple reports. It wasn't even just Mike that reported. Honestly, there were other people that reported it. But
Plenty.
Oh yeah. But at the end of the day, the person that came through Halls
was Lamont Paris.
Lamont Paris. That's who walked through the doors with at Halls. Kerry Rich, Lamont Paris. That's who walked through the doors of Halls, not Sean Miller. But I like that. I like that out of conference matchup. I think it's great for the team. It's really going to show where South Carolina is this season. I think looking in right now where South Carolina as a team, I think they should. It should not even be a contest, honestly, between Xavier and South Carolina for the way that the guys they bring back, the talent they bring in.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are already cooking, man. These guys are already working out, practicing, and everything. Like basketball season, that's what a lot of people don't understand. March Madness, maybe the game ends in March, but by God, they're right back at it a month later, if that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think this
shout
team,
to them boys.
I will give Lamont this. He definitely beefed up that out of conference schedule this year.
He did.
That Indiana game, this tournament, he beefed it up, man. And he's going for another in season tournament championship this year because, as you all know, he won the Arizona one last year. So they're going for another in season tournament championship this year. And Lamont's just collecting accolades at this point, and he's building a culture, and he's building a thing. And Don has always told y'all, if you build it, they will come.
Yep.
And that's what Lamont has started doing. And I'm excited for that season, man. I'm excited all around. Like Gamecock Sports is back, energized again. It's back. Baseball season was draining last year. It was rough. Like we won some good games, but it was rough, man, to get through that. And now you have new energy in that dugout and a legend. Softball is re-energized. Women's basketball going for the repeat. I'm just thoroughly excited. Men's basketball, man, Lamont knows, man. Shout out to Lamont and Shane. But it all starts off right here. Shane's ready to start this bad boy off. Shane's ready to start this bad boy off. That much I can promise you. Shane's ready to start this bad boy off. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it, folks.
We definitely are, man. I'm stoked. I really am. A couple things I did want to talk about while we're still, in the recruiting area and whatnot. We did have some movement as far as recruits go. We had Hallman, the linebacker from Blackville, South Carolina. He moved to 4-star territory before. I believe he was a 3-star, so he moved up there. And then Dodd moves up, the defensive lineman moves up to a highly ranked 4-star in I think the top 150, I believe.
Yep.
As well. So look, some great movement there. I mean, you're seeing these players move up in the recruiting ranks. So like I said, recruiting's about to get hot. It's even getting bigger now with Darren Usher here at South Carolina. He's offering guys left and right, guys that weren't originally considering South Carolina, and maybe Q, you've already said it, going to the cookout at the end of the month. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts going on right now.
It's a lot going on, man. And you gotta just be up with it, man. You just gotta ride this wave, man. We got a lot of things coming y'all guys' way, man. We got a lot of things coming your way. And so just stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. I'm waiting on an announcement. Like I said, this announcement could hit late tonight at this point. I'm still waiting on this announcement to come through. If it does, keep your noties on, man, because there's a good chance that you see an interview go down tomorrow that you don't want to miss. So that's
I agree.
like I said, it's either going to happen tomorrow, or it's going to happen, somewhat soon, here in the future. But if it does happen tomorrow, like I said, just get ready because it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It is a
Huge.
big one.
It's huge.
Q, we have a couple days. We're less than a week now from college football 25.
I'm ready.
And
bro.
I tell you,
I'm excited.
dude, excited. That's an understatement. Like
I'm hyped.
I can't put it into words. So before we talk about this game, right? NBA 2K25, right? 2K announced who's going to be on the cover, right?
803 legend.
803 legend Asia Wilson is gracing the cover for the first time.
I honestly wasn't going to get the game, but then when I found out she was going to be on the cover, I got to get the game now.
You have to.
I literally was not going to get the game, and then I got to get the game now because that's an 803 legend, bro. That's homegrown. Like I gotta have that cover.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have that cover.
Yeah, no, I mean you have to, right?
You got to, man. Yeah. I probably won't play that game much of any, right. But I'm definitely gonna have the cover.
I feel like the Slam T-shirts going around right now. I feel like I need a 2K shirt with Asia on it.
That's all I need, man. That's all I need.
I'll just say, hell, I might make one honestly. If it's not available, I might make one.
That's all I need.
So I didn't want to talk about college football 25, the things to expect. Obviously, Sandstorm has been, has already been said it's going to be in the game, right? The
waving of the towels are in the game. That's dope,
right?
That's dope.
That's fire. Now, South Carolina itself, they did submit multiple things. They submitted the pre-team runout, first down, second down, the third down, the Gamecock, Rooster Crow, fourth down with the band. The touchdown for South Carolina's fight songs. They submitted all the fight songs. They did the band's rendition of 2001. So in case they can't get, the official 2001 Space Odyssey song, if they can't get that, well, they'll have the band, which the past games they've had the band, right? They've had 2001 in the past games. So that's good. But I mean, look, they did some serious stuff, man. Like as far as visual effects, they took multiple photos of general seating bleachers, close-up photos of luxury seats and their black leather chair seating. Multiple angles of the stadium's classic upper deck overhanging lights. Does that mean we're getting the light show, dude?
The light show and a game touchdown is gonna hit like crack, bro. It's gonna hit like crack.
My God.
It's gonna feed families.
Oh,
it's gonna feed families.
If we get the light show in this, I'm gonna lose it. Numerous shots of the press box, pictures from the top of the stadium. It's also showing various buildings, including the football facility, roads, parking, lots of the distance helps with scenery, and pictures of the school's video board. So all this stuff was submitted to EA. Now, what they use, that's a whole nother thing. But South Carolina by no means dropped the ball on this at all. I mean, they sent everything, man. They sent in the different pictures, like of the ramps and stuff. They sent those. I mean, they sent so much. And why is South Carolina not getting any time in these trailers? Well, there's new uniforms coming out apparently for South Carolina. And these things, because of that, they haven't been unrolled yet. Apparently, that's from what we've heard. So it's like that's what's been said. So I guess Monday, if you have the early release, we find out.
I thought it was going to be on the 16th, but I guess now it is. Well, this is what I did. I got the homecoming edition.
Yeah.
From GameStop. So I'm going to be calling GameStop, making sure, hey, am I able to pick my copy up on Monday like everybody else? And I'm going to download my stuff and get that because it comes with that locker. I'm trying to figure out where in my house I'm going to put that. The locker with the football, the jersey and stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, it's nostalgia, just like it is to you. Like we waited in line for those games. We stood in line waiting at midnight, which I wish they would do, the midnight drop. Yeah. We did all those things, man. That was us. That was us.
And that was before digital downloads, man. Like that's before digital downloads were a thing. So you had to be there to get the game. And
the atmosphere was crazy. People were talking like, man, I can't wait to take this team to the championship. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I mean, that was the greatest time, man.
It was. And growing up in Columbia, during that time, you'd go to midnight release and you'd see a lot of the players like out there. It'd be like Marcus was there one year. Connor, I believe Connor was there. JD Clowney was out there. It was so cool because, man, like you're here for the release. Everybody's here for the same thing. And everybody, and there's camaraderie, right? Everybody's like, oh, yeah, we're about to play, NCAA 14, about to get on the sticks, hit me up, pass out your username and whatnot on PSN or on Xbox Live. And man, those were the days. But dude, I almost want to
excited.
I'm telling you,
it's gonna be great.
It's fantastic. I know everybody listening that grew up with it is probably. I mean, there's people that have bought systems for this game.
That's it.
Because
that's the only reason
they
bought it.
The PC. Yep.
That's the only reason they bought it, for the game, Brent. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be great. I've been invited to a couple leagues. So I'll be in a lot of leagues. I know I will be. I know I won't stop adding leagues to what I'm doing. I know I won't. I can't help it. I'm excited for the game. So let's see how it plays out.
Yeah. No, definitely. And there's a link going on right now. If you can get a physical copy, if that's what you're looking for, they're selling it for like $49 or something, $39.
I don't know how real it is, so I'd be careful with it.
It's in QVC, which growing up, I mean, QVC was that channel that you watched, like that had the the commercials or like selling and whatnot, and with the different numbers you call, and we got this much in stock, buy now, and don't pay this, don't pay that.
I went straight to the source, GameStop.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I originally went to GameStop, but when they said the deluxe had the early access, I'm like, I can't hold myself.
Yeah, once I found out they had like a homecoming edition that comes out early, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll get that. But I wanted to get it early, so I agree with you on that.
Yeah, we're gonna to see what this locker looks like here next week to see what.
Yeah, I got. I'll bring it on the show next week. I'll bring the locker on the show, man.
Oh yeah, you got to show it. You got to show that locker. Well, it's supposed to come up with some other stuff too, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes with a jersey, a locker, and a football.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like that to me, that's just gonna be great.
Honestly, I might drop it. Like I might get that edition, and I might just give away the copy of NCAA 25.
That'd be dope.
I've been doing a lot of giveaways, man. We gave away a home field hat the other day, which is really cool. If you guys haven't seen that, it's a kind of a dad hat of the old Gamecock logo, which like I said, you use code Famously Garnet, you get 15% off your first order. So take advantage of that. I mean, absolutely take advantage of that. And they got a really cool thing with home field right now. I don't know if you saw it. It ends today, but a lot of people are like, who should I rebuild? In NCAA in college football. You could buy this deal, which you get 3 shirts, right? You get 3 shirts for the price of like $55 or something, which is really good for home field.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those comfy shirts you'll ever wear. And you get to pick what shirt, from these different schools. And like, hey, I'm going to pick this school. It's Tulane compared to like, you might have Oklahoma State or something. So it's a really cool thing they're doing with that.
I like that.
It's sick. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, of course, y'all know my P5 team, man. I mean, it's Carolina all day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm rocking with in the game. But my G5 team, now that's still a toss up. Got a couple. Charlotte has made the list.
Okay.
East Carolina has made the list.
Okay.
Family ties there. East Carolina has made the list. So they have made the list. So I'm excited for that. Shout out to my cousin. He just committed to them a few weeks ago. I'm super proud of him. Extremely proud of him. And but they're another one. I mean, everybody's trying to go with the Tulane thing. Their colors are like, you can't beat their colors.
No.
But another undercover team I might use, FIU.
Huh.
Florida.
Okay.
Florida International.
Okay.
Bud Davis in the gutter. So I might bring them back. I might bring them back. So we'll see.
Well, FIU, I'm pretty sure I rebuilt FIU in NCAA, let's say college football. I think it was NCAA 2011, 2012, maybe.
I rebuilt them in 2014. Very small stadium, but when I got them boys rocking, I
rebuilt South Alabama. That was South Alabama.
That's another one. That's another
good one, right?
That's another one. Jags.
The Jags. Shout out to Mobile, Alabama, too, by the way. That stadium is actually not bad. It doesn't have a ton of things going on with it, but it's a nice venue. And shout out to the city of Mobile for the hospitality, except for the Senior Bowl back in the fall, early spring, winter, or late winter. But Man, I'm stoked. Like I said, we got a couple of days to this, and Q, we got, like I said, an announcement that should be made tonight. Not sure yet what time, but when it is, like I said, just get ready.
Just ready, bro.
Just
get ready.
It's a big one.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, that's it for me on my side. Q, you got anything else for the show?
I'm good, man. Thank y'all for supporting us. Continue to support us, man. Continue to support us. We got big things coming.
Yeah, no, the Welcome Home podcast continues to grow at an alarming rate. Things that, hey, look, man, the support's there. We appreciate all y'all, tuning in, listening, and obviously continue to contribute to the guys out there, the recruiting going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. If you see a hashtag, quote tweet it, retweet it, show the love to these guys. I mean, the recruits, they eat it up, they love it, and I can't say that enough. But other than that, man, we're going to go ahead and end the show. Like I said, there's a lot of good stuff going on, but check us out. You can listen to us on the Welcome Home podcast on Spotify or Apple. You can subscribe there. You can rate and review the show there. You can follow Welcome Home podcast on Instagram, on Twitter. You can follow me, Famously Garnett, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Q, you can follow him on Twitter, Instagram as well. We will see you next time.
Peace.